everybody and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Criterion. In Criterion there have been some great road movies throughout the years. It Happened One Night, Easy Rider, Badlands, Stranger Than Paradise, Y Tu Mama Tambien, and now Thelma and Louise, the ultimate female road movie from the director Ridley Scott and written by Callie Curry. Now the film has elements of multiple genres in it and has been described as a drama, adventure or road movie, with elements of a romantic comedy thrown in. It stars Susan Sarandon as Louise and Geena Davis as Thelma, two friends who embark on a road trip that ends up in unforeseen circumstances. Filming took place in California and Utah from June to August of 1990, and the supporting cast for the film includes Harvey Keitel, Michael Madsen, Christopher McDonald and Brad Pitt in one of his first major film roles. Two women in a turquoise Thunderbird take the ride of a lifetime, and with this pop culture landmark, the screenwriter Callie Curry and action auteur Ridley Scott rewrote the rules of the road movie, and it tells the story of two best friends who find themselves transformed into accidental fugitives during a weekend getaway which goes wrong, leading them on a high-speed southwestern odyssey as they elude police and discover freedom on their own terms. The film was a critical and commercial success in 1991, receiving 6 Academy Award nominations and winning for Best Original Screenplay. Scott was nominated for Best Director, and both Sarandon and Davis were nominated for Best Actress. To date, this is the most recent film to have 2 actors nominated in the same category for either Best Actor or Best Actress. It influenced other films and artistic works and became a landmark of feminist film. In 2016, the United States Library of Congress selected the film for preservation in the National Film Registry. Now, the idea for Thelma and Louise originated in the spring of 1988 when Callie Curry, then a music video producer at the time, was driving home from work to her apartment in Santa Monica. She spent the following 6 months working on her first screenplay, which was noted to have drawn inspiration from her own personal experience, as well as her friendship at the time with country music singer Pam Tillis. Now, she had intended to be a low-budget independent film, and that was going to be directed by herself and produced by fellow music video producer Amanda Temple, wife of English filmmaker Julian Temple. Now, Temple showed the script to her friend Mimi Polk Gitlin. Now, she ran Ridley Scott's Percy Main Productions company, later known as Scott Free. Gitlin, in turn, showed the script to Scott, who expressed great enthusiasm for the project, and he agreed to produce the film and bought the film rights for $500,000. Now, Michelle Pfeiffer and Jodie Foster were originally chosen for the leads in the film, and both accepted their roles with enthusiasm. And as pre-production of the film dragged on somewhat, the two eventually decided to drop out, with Pfeiffer going on to star in Love Field and Foster in The Silence of the Lambs. Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn then offered their services as leads, but Streep later dropped out due to scheduling conflicts, while Hawn wasn't considered right for the part at all. Geena Davis, who had been vigorously pursuing the lead role for nearly a whole year now, and Susan Sarandon were ultimately chosen by Ridley Scott, and the two took extensive driving and shooting lessons in preparation for their roles in the film. Principal photography for Thelma and Louise began on June 11th, 1990 and concluded on August the 31st. And although the setting for the film is fictional, that's the route between Arkansas and the Grand Canyon, it was filmed almost entirely in the states of California and Utah. The primary filming locations were rural areas around Bakersfield, California and Moab in Utah, and the Grand Canyon scenes were filmed just south of Dead Horse Point State Park in Utah. Parts of the film were also shot at Schaffer Overlook, Monument Valley, La Salle Mountains, La Salle Junction, Cisco Old Valley City Reservoir, Thompson Springs, Arches National Park and Crescent Junction in Utah. Now, as well as excellent cinematography in the film by Adrian Biddle, music also played a large part. Pete Haycock on slide guitar contributed to Thunderbird, the theme music for the film. And in addition to Glenn Frey's Part of Me, Part of You, which became the film's primary theme song, the soundtrack also included songs performed by Chris Whitley, Martha Reeves, Tony Childs, Marianne Faithfull, Charlie Sexton, Grayson Hugh, B.B. King, Michael McDonald, The Temptations, written by Smokey Robinson and Bobby Rogers incidentally, and Johnny Nash. Thelma Louise was screened out of competition as the closing film at the 1991 Cannes Film Festival, and theatrical release was delayed a little due to financial turmoil at MGM Pathé, but the film eventually did open in American theatres on May 24, 1991, and was a box office success, grossing $45 million across the States. Now the disc is a 2-disc presentation, and the first disc of course is in 4K UHD with HDR Dolby Vision grading, and the following features are contained on the second Blu-ray disc, and they are 2 audio commentaries featuring Scott, the screenwriter Callie Curry, and actors Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon. Documentary featuring Davis, Curry, Sarandon, Scott, and actors Michael Madsen, Christopher McDonald and Brad Pitt, and other members of the cast and the crew. Boy and Bicycle from 1965, that's Scott's first short film and one of his early commercials. An original theatrical featurette, storyboards and deleted and extended scenes from the film, including an extended ending with director's commentary included. Music video for Glenn Frey's Part of Me, Part of You from the film soundtrack. There's trailers for the film, and of course, as always, an essay by the critics Jessica Kyang and Rachel Syme and the journalist Rebecca Traister. And cover art for the film Thelma and Louise is by Sam Hadley. Thelma and Louise is now classed as a modern classic road movie, with excellent central performances of course from Gina Davis and Susan Sarandon, and the iconic famous end shot, which of course has even been lampooned by UK comedy team French and Saunders in their BBC TV series, and I can see that certainly as a great compliment to the film. Nominated for 6 Academy Awards and won 1 for Curry, the exhilarating or cathartic Thelma and Louise stands as cinema's ultimate ode to ride or die female friendship. It has a running time of 129 minutes and 2:3:9:1 aspect ratio, that's black bars. The film comes to 4K UHD Blu-ray in the US only, and its spine 1180.